Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now the game has a huge number of different planet types, but only a few of them are actually currently accessible. A visual guide here by Commander Fru showing the value of planets in terms of exploration data way back in Elite Dangerous version 2.3 shows how many planets there actually are in the game, how many different planet types. Now due to the age of this chart, things are slightly out of date and some of the planet types will look different now in game compared to how they looked back then. But the point here is to use this as a visual reference to give an idea of how many planets are currently landable versus how many planets still remain unlandable. Now this will highlight the amount of planet types that we may see in the future. Keep in mind then that whilst the chart may not be 100% accurate, it nonetheless paints a very clear picture of where things stand. In total then, on this chart there are 137 planets split across 17 different categories. Currently we can access planets within 3.5 categories. The half comes from the fact that we cannot land on lava-based metal-rich worlds, but can still land on most other types within that category. Within these 3.5 categories, there are 18 planet types that we can land on right now. These are from the rocky body, icy body, high metal content and metal-rich planetary types. Rocky ice worlds are not listed on this chart as a separate type. This leaves us with a massive 119 different types of planet on which we cannot currently land. The vast majority of these are found in the gas giant categories. Other categories are high metal content worlds with atmospheres, water giants, lava-based metal-rich bodies, water worlds, ammonia worlds, and of course Earth-like worlds. Now Frontier's plan for planetary landings has always been to roll the planets out in stages. Essentially, the more complex planets will arrive last. Complex worlds in this case means planets with plant and animal life. That means we can pretty much safely assume that neither Earth-like worlds nor ammonia worlds will arrive anytime soon. With water worlds it's a little more hazy, as it largely depends on whether or not Frontier will implement liquids into the game. If not, then water worlds will also be a lot further down the line. That naturally would mean that any world with a combination of an atmosphere and liquid content would also have to wait. Now that really does sound like I've just crossed off a massive number of worlds, but let's take a look on that chart. Remove the Earth-likes, ammonia worlds, water worlds and other worlds with liquid still leaves us with a massive number of planets. So now we can build a pretty good picture of what types of planets we could expect to arrive the next time Frontier update the list of planets we can actually access. Firstly, there are 8 classes of gas giants shown, and these include a total of 76 planet variations. Some of these gas giants have water or ammonia-based life, but I'm going to assume that life there is not found in pools of liquid, but rather in the atmosphere. And this would mean we could include all gas giants. Whilst landing on gas giants wouldn't happen, entering their atmospheres is a completely different story, and is a subject Frontier has spoken about on a number of different times in the past. Now I'm not going to speculate on what type of gameplay might be created for gas giants, as there is literally nothing to form that speculation on. What we do know, however, is that Frontier have created alien life within space, inside Lagrange clouds, and within ring systems. It makes sense then that they would consider including life within gas giant atmospheres. High metal content worlds with atmospheres are also candidates for access within the next batch of planets that Frontier could potentially open up. These fit into the rocky worlds with atmosphere that Frontier have talked about in the past. These worlds would be like Mars and Venus of today, and whilst they don't open up all the metal content worlds as some have liquid, it nonetheless opens up a good portion of them. Again, I'm not going to speculate on gameplay for atmospheric worlds here, although I suspect atmospheric entry would be pretty nice indeed. Essentially, the point of this video is not really to talk about different types of gameplay that may or may not come in the future, but rather to highlight the amount of worlds we can currently access versus the number of worlds that are still locked off. The galaxy is indeed big, and sometimes as we're flying around it's very easy to lose sight of just how little of it we can actually access the surface of. So basically the point here is not really to talk about future gameplay or speculate on what may or may not come in terms of stuff we can engage with, but rather to highlight the amount of worlds that we can currently access versus the number of worlds that are still locked off. Basically, if Frontier just went ahead and added just a few selections of planet types, it would give us access to well over half the planets that exist within the galaxy right now. Personally, I think that's a really big deal. Now, like I say, speculating on gameplay is an entirely different matter, and I'm sure many people out there are going to be saying, what's the point of opening up other worlds, because we don't have much gameplay on existing worlds. But I guess in that case, we just have to wait and see. But alternatively, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think would be nice gameplay to have down on planetary surfaces and within the atmospheres of gas giants. Let me know in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.